All right, we are going to start the beginner's guide. We just finished the Stanley's Parable, Stanley Parable. So, well, if the game wants to capture, that'd be nice. Oh, there you go. Okay. Uh, yeah. No, let's just change, window no border, apply. Audio, is there a way to, full captions or, yeah, we'll turn on that. Yeah, but, yeah, we just finished Stanley Parable. Uh, Not the deluxe version, just a regular one, and it was a little bit disappointing. I was expecting a little bit more, but yeah. Anyways, let's start the beginner's guide. I've seen a bit of it, like just like the Stanley Parable, but not too much. I'm very. All I know is like there is a good story, and I think it's about
Hi
a
there.
storyboard developer.
Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I
There's
wrote The
narrative.
Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between
Ooh, it's more of a story.
2008 and 2011.
I'm gonna like this more. I feel.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some
true
personal
story,
stuff.
or is
And
this?
his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So, just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly
I
it's
can jump.
just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder.
Oh,
So, this was just how he worked. He tended to
sad.
crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden
This feels
at
like
gmail.com.
this
Okay, that's about it for introduction.
like
Let's take a look at
true
Coda's
story, then.
first proper game.
I tell.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November
Okay.
2008.
This feels like an. Oh. Okay.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe
I am
Coda thought that
controlling,
actually
yes.
it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Okay. What is
Enemy
this
force
then?
neutralized. Begin shield evacuation.
Oh.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Hey, developer's first even if you're in space. I love this. Oh, I'm gonna like this game. Oh.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
But I want to solve it. Fine.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper Machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the Whisper Machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Oh.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
I float. Hey, there's the maze solution.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him.
The first
Because yes,
right
this is
turn.
technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go
I hope
ahead and
this is
take
a
a look
true
at the first
story.
game he made
This is-
after leaving this one behind.
I hope this is a true story and not just like some sort of narrative push. The path was behind her.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Oh. That's fun. The path was behind her. I like that idea. That's a fun idea. But the
So
cheat-
it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
stops and look, it becomes clearer. The future is always behind her. How will she find the strength? Or is it evidence of a broken man? Confront it.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick.
Was quick.
Okay, next one.
I hate this. Seems horror. This is like
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
you have the benefit of of doubt right now.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his
Nonsense in
games.
nearly every direction.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Slow down.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay, I hit enter. Just if anyone was curious just now. You walk around, people put shoot. Whoa. You are a gate. Are these just random thoughts?
A room that's warm and nice
Oh,
and filled with little
game
ideas for games.
ideas. Game is nothing but blocks of text explaining what's happening. You play as a loud, bodiless sound.
Coda would often
walking
tell
around
me that he
people.
didn't mind if people thought of him as
Whoa,
cold or
there's more.
distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
I hope this is a true story. Actually, I need to know. Is the beginner's guide about a true story? Is the beginner's guide a true story? The ultimate fictional nature. Oh, it. Okay, that kind of takes away from a little bit, but I'm still I'll still play. I was really the way it was like written, it felt like it was a real story, you know.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it. Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay, I messes with your mind now. Yeah, I was really hoping that was gonna be a true story, or like at least based on a true story, because this is the narrative.
So
it
that
was
seems to be
bringing.
it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa!
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of
There's
the
so
time
much
you don't
here.
get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand,
I like this game already.
then what is it?
You are now entering. You are now exiting.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow.
Oh.
It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them.
Let me see more.
And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
great and lovely descent. This is a little. Oh, there's a little hill here.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Sure.
Every video game runs
Yeah.
on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
I missed. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh,
The
we're good.
tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
You catch up on this one. Okay. Fair enough. It is a bit loud compared to the I wish you could because the music is too loud compared to the narrator. I don't like that. Like, it's hard to like distinguish the voice for me. Is this a prison? Am I supposed to go in the prison?
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting
Oh.
you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments
It
over it. There was one
depends.
time that after one of these conversations, he went home and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Wow, this feels like a prison. Ah, the
It's
puzzle.
the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. Listening.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yeah, you don't want to go over there. But we do. We in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I want more. Yeah, I want an ending to Stanley Parable. That's what I wish there was. Oh, you actually can't get up there. There's a wall. Okay. Oh, am I just looping? Yes. Do you want to know how to solve? Just between doors would be far more interesting. Have you seen it? Yeah, there was like this sort of weird fog. Yeah. We'll see it again soon. Oh, that sucks. That door is not very wide. That bugs me a little bit.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Please let me balance the audio. The music is so loud, and the narrator's so quiet. Not quiet, but hard to pick out. Ooh, different. A lamppost. A bug drawn to the light.
It's a lamppost.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost.
Closure. Yeah.
It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Oh.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
We're going April 2009. You connect with the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Oh, wait, let's read one. Nice room, not? Well, it's a fine room. It's an okay room.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce
How do you
this,
beat this
but
game?
this game is not connected to the internet.
Okay.
All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention.
I hope I
was
don't read all of these.
over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Open sesame. Outdoor open.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing
Whoa,
this game
keeps
and
going.
seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Well done, all of you. I wish these texts were highlighted when you like look at them a little bit so you can actually read it. This is just way too close. What happened to the extra polish? Come on.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find
whispers.
difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Lamppost. Typewriters. Are you there? Please say something. Are you... Speak. I am trying. Speak, 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 speak. Oh, it doesn't talk to himself either. His thoughts. Is my mic doing the thing
Okay,
again?
this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Oh. I hate these narrow corridors.
See, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same
that's
assets,
good.
turn it into something else.
I like that.
Okay,
just now.
cool. Here's version 2.
Refrigerator. For a giant hole in the ground. Oh, doesn't matter what you choose. 10 stoves line up against. I like a picture of a horse. I like a washing machine. Skylight. Yeah. Table was written in 1935. Probably false, but... Oh, Spanish.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Chasing the end.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. This guy will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow instructions carefully and make sure you remember each step. Click this table. Go over the photo frame and turn it slightly. Now turn the lamp floor lamp in this room off. Turn it back on. Sofa. Tilt. Side sofa. Attach the shelves. So artsy, kinda.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
I get it.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person
It's
basically
interesting.
unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Oh, cool. Okay. Where did I just come from? I can't really see. This is horror themed. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you after I escaped from the prison. You're me? So you're trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation.
Yep.
And
I was
so
in the
this
furniture
is what
maze.
Coda wants, is to be able
That's
to
where I'm
talk
right
to
now.
someone, to share what's on his mind, and
So
to
that
get
is-
some good advice
and I'll
from
get it
someone
eventually.
who knows.
With the escape.
But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
That's what the prison was actually like. Really? How long has it been since you got up? That somehow is already kind of fuzzy. Like it never happened. This is the worst, most desperate thing I've been through. How can you possibly forget it? Haha. You never ever forget it, you just stop identifying with it. Anything is something when you're drenched in it. Pretty true. Wait, if you're me, then you got a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Yes, I got a call, that's how I escaped. What did they tell you? What did you have to do to get out? One. All I can do is be sincere. What? That freed you? How does that work? Just be sincere. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Oh, I actually seen this part in a,
To me, this environment
video.
is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad to tell you that you... Glad as all heck that you showed up. I might be having cleaned this entire house by myself. And... Right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows that some... Everyone knows lonesome hands make
You'll
lousy
notice that
homes.
the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, And this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Well, you might just get a little ahead of yourself there. Why don't we start cleaning, then you get to decide what we do. Get a table. Please run better make the bed. Better make the bed. The rug a bit. Oh, this is making me actually a little sick. I hate these. What's with this hitbox? All the details matter. How'd you end up doing this? It dragged me at a time when I was pretty desperate for cash. Because I never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did I like cleaning my own home. I might have got some demons hate. Come and trade out the pillows here. Sure. Just jump by the couch. Clean this bill. Maybe mop out right over there. Feel compelled to shrink or cheese. So looks like you okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No. It was stupid. Sorry, never mind. These dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Ugh. I don't want to do chores. Come on, stop it. Books. Oh, it just repeats forever. Clean those dishes off at the table.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Why don't we take a task at hand?
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all
Pretty
his work, actually, this was the only one that
Resident
he
Evil wants
called
to
me
move
up
the
to
rug.
ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
I... Take care of it, take care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. You're right, that's pretty cheesy. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Dot dot dot, I assume, yep. Oh, another dot dot dot. Oh, no! So... housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Give the books. Can I just leave? Thanks. Pillows on the couch.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Can't leave. This is a prison. This is a prison.
But, of course, it can't last. The
Okay.
music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the
Thank
hill
you.
is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Ah.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Then why isn't there a door here? She's not done with this?
This one gets a bit goofy.
Hey, you love member prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. Well, this workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. Oh. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that may make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful, and tending to make you into that person? Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It is so easy. It is so
About halfway through
easy.
the game,
Being perfect is
perspective
effortless.
shifts.
Yeah. Being perfect is effortless. There's on the way to work. I used kitchen off all of their dreams.
And you play
This
as
is the key.
teacher. And
I don't
suddenly,
actually
you
no
discover
effort.
that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around
Well,
the classroom now.
Let me tell you right now, it isn't effortless. Then it's not the right answer. Oh. Options for your life. You're not doing it right. Seek out the only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? There is no truth. There is no path. Do what you feel. Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Nothing. No one.
I fell pretty hard for this one.
Perfection.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Perfect is boring.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one.
I remember the prison
That's
solution.
twice as long as
There's
it took
no
him to
lamp.
make
We
any
can't do
other
it,
game
though.
before this. And it's not like it's particularly complex.
It's
So
the
I
table.
remember I found that a little strange at the
That
time.
lamp twice. Couch. That. But okay. Stage. 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 Whoa. Holy crap. On first game. Places, please. In the scene, you'll be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you lean against this wall. Good. Stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something. Go on, say something to her. Just pretend it's your camera recital. No, like the lights just turning on and the sound effects and everything just scared me. Hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. It is. That's how you start a conversation. You didn't actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I like you. I'm super scared right now. No. No. That's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. We're assuming it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feeling of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them represent the people nearby. Bouncy! I talked to her again. I bet you learn to lean into that pain, into the pain. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. You're messing it all up again. Figure out. No, I like the bounciness. I am a bug. I will follow the light. What? No, this was the end. Oh, you keep going? What's with the rendering on the floor right here, the texture? Yeah, so this is working. This is what I was
The
like.
game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution, social anxiety,
It's
to
perfect.
fears of
Wonderful,
having
this
to
is really
perform
wonderful.
and having to chase success. The answer for Coda is to withdraw,
Oh,
to hide
I
himself away.
understand this.
Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Okay. You keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay. My eyes are closed. No, they're not. Help. Help. I can't see anything. I can't keep making these. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. Oh.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First
It's
off, he's
draining
never
me.
been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble
it's gonna be
iterating on
easy.
ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out.
Desperate.
After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
6 months. It's not that bad. What is this? Much more open. I like it. That person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. Oh no, what happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me. Start it again. I don't think it matters which way we go. Oh, wait, looking for a machine? I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it. Yeah.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet. And so He didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on. You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
You see, the game development is simple and joyous, and I love it 100% of the time. Alright. Making games is simple. Ah, that feels wonderful. How do the walls just crumble? Pick another one. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying creation is easy. I am constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, that is wonderful.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped.
Such a simple
It's like-
solution.
Video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Yes. More.
I don't know.
Keep going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to
There's no
stop
shame, no
more
fear,
than
no guilt.
anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
That's where she is. She's just crying in the prison.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months
7
and
months.
comes up with a new game.
May 2011. Oh, actually getting close to the end. Guard. As you arrive safely. The machine is waiting for you now. Get integration working if you like. I intend to be quick. As someone called the press, we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about this machine, it calls itself Coda. I understand. Get the machine. Ma'am. Is Coda...
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. It was... People out there, can you imagine what the pain you put them through? It's... You have to admit that you allowed the people to... Oh, I've been hit number 1, but whatever. I don't think it matters. No, nothing. Alright then, I'll check them for you. My friends. It falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. We are stronger than we think we are. It thinks we are. Let us show that we are not failures. We will destroy them. Oh, that's option number 3. Where's my third option? Oh, this stage again. The lights will turn on and some super bright. Okay. Ah. I don't know, just like applying a white texture to the object that's still there. I had to like alert everything.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive.
I'll
And I'll
make
tell
sure
you,
you're known
at
forever.
the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him?
What if the games weren't
If
meant
he
for other
could see
people?
the difference it would make to have more
Let's see
actual
that they're meant for him.
conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all is just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
No, I'm not controlling it this time. Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone
That
really
is
connects with
very-
the thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something. I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't
That's
like themselves.
somewhat narcissistic.
And I could fix it.
With
If
all
I
the
could give him
eyes.
this gift, maybe I could fix the problem.
But
When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
okay.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Okay.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
I kind of want to just see what the maze is like. Show me the walls. Okay. Wall. This is like them trying
And
to
be
say
fair,
stay away.
It's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house
Oh,
forever.
that's brutal.
I had
Prison.
to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh, oops. That can take some programming if you can just sit on that platform and it moves you. That actually takes some programming. Or not like not a lot, but it requires effort.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not
This
like
makes the dev an
everything
asshole.
needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed.
I mean,
and
they aren't making it
understand
for
why.
anyone else. This is just them making it, and then like, when I say saying, "Let me play the game,"
I
let me play
remember,
the game,
it's
right?
June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
Okay, that's true. And it's
It
also like,
wasn't the guy
like
I
a
knew, it
solo
wasn't
dev that's
my
not making any
friend.
money. It's just like,
I had come to so many conclusions
whatever.
from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them.
they're very
I had
personal
been
games,
trying
right?
to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for.
It's like, here's a puzzle.
I asked him
no solution.
so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him.
Yeah.
I asked him please to tell
That's
me
not that
what
crazy,
3 dots
though.
mean. And he wouldn't.
Some things don't have solutions, and that's just how it is.
I
But
just
if you're
felt
not
so
talking to
strongly
people,
that if I could have connected
You're
with
watching
him,
this stuff.
that if I could have
Yeah.
somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy.
I think the
That
message is
I
like,
needed to see
stop
myself
playing
in
my
someone
games,
else.
stop prying,
needed
kind of deal.
To be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
You were a bad friend. You shared his games without his permission. You were sharing his games
did I screw
for
up?
your own reasons. Oh, I remember this. Dear Davy, thank you for taking you're interested in my games, I need to ask you.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I?
Oof.
It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something
There you go.
important and valuable.
Criticism. I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. Nope, not at all. It seems you affected my personal space so much that it's possible that I begin to plan solutions when I work
people who
somewhere.
played
in
them,
these games.
They treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You affected my personal space so much that it's possible I began to plant solutions. So his games didn't mean to have solutions in them in the first place, like the prison and stuff. And because you played it, he felt like he had to add solutions. If there's an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games or throwing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating one boundary that keeps me safe. Oof. Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Would you simply
And then you
let them
stopped.
be what
And I didn't
they are?
have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
When I'm around you,
What does that mean?
feel physically ill. You desperately need something that... Oof. Struggling to come up with some new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. Oh, yeah. It's your thought about the person, not the person themselves. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than me. I realize this doesn't make any sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing that you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope
That's
that
mean. They
if I
trapped
put
me in
this
here.
compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry.
They just asked you to not say anything.
I know I screwed up.
Come on.
If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as
Just get
long as I
closer.
had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
A log. Oh. It's Kingdom Hearts.
More.
Clock
more,
Tower.
More.
And then you go to the train.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Are we at the bottom of this place again with a bunch of notes? Feels like it. It feels like I'm crawling because I can't move fast.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
That's sad. If you can't imagine what it'll be like to be you know, live for yourself.
What now?
Keep moving.
I think I need to go.
Thinking of Finding Nemo.
And
Just keep swimming.
I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm...
Okay, now I definitely
Just
feel like this is like a
gonna-
made-up narrative at this point.
Okay.
Box. Follow the gate. Matt, thank you for the raid. Let me just quickly shout you out. S.O. Bartholomew. Welcome, everyone. Do I also have a shout out like I do? Hey, how are you doing, Matt? I was like lurking a little bit earlier. You were playing Donkey Kong. You figured out how to get that working, right? Oh, just chatting stream. Yeah, you started the wrong category in Power or something, and then you changed it over. But yeah, how is everything? Was it good? For me and myself, we tried Stanley Parable. I felt like we weren't making any progress because then I realized like, oh, this game does not have an ending. It just keeps looping forever. So then I decided to move on to the beginner's guide, and I think I'm near the end. So yeah. I think the Stallion Parable, the deluxe version, has an actual story, and yeah, it got working. I decided it's not my game. Aw, that sucks. Is that a blankie? Is that peak gaming mode? Yeah, this is a blanket. When I'm in like in the computer here, I'm guaranteed to have this blanket on. It's like I have it on all the time to the point where if you want me to take it off, there's channel points rewards for it. 1,000 points to remove the blanket. For 3 minutes, not permanently. Gets cold down here, you know. But yeah, I do have like sweaters and everything, but yeah. Yeah, I will forever have a blanket on when playing. It's gonna be my thing. It's been that way since like day one, I think. But yeah, welcome PMQ. Thank you for the follow again. Yeah, we are nearing the end of beginner's guide. The beginner's guide. So far, it's pretty good. At the beginning, I thought it was like a really, really awesome like story. Let me just hit snooze on the ads for now. Um, I thought it was like a really awesome like true story, but then like I googled it, it's not, sadly. And then once like the past couple of minutes a year, I've noticed really that oh, this is really it's a really awesome narrative rather than like a true story kind of deal. And we're back to looking for prisons. Flaggy's OP. I love the blanket. Oh, it's gonna be a prison. You're gonna stop like right here, and I can't get up. Stop right before the jumping height, and I can't get up. Watch. It's gonna be a cruel prison. No? Oh, oh, you have to wait until that thing. Okay. Are we just starting it back in? Are we going in circles again? This is. It seems like the Argo Church we restarted. No, it's not. Not the same place. Okay, I need to get ready from bed, so have a good rest of the stream. Yes, thank you for the raid again, Matt. Yeah. Definitely see you guys next time. Yeah, get some rest. Good night. Good night. Yeah. Quarter's pretty empty. Music has been pretty consistently pretty good, but it's. I wish there was more audio settings. Good night. Good night, Matt. Thanks for the raid again. Laser thing again. Do we at least float up? Do we at least float up? Come on, give me the floating up. So this was the escape from something game. This was a W, I think. And there's some sort of beam that is causing everything to go wrong, and you jump in it and you die, and that stops it. But oh, I can, yeah. And you float up, and oh, you actually are floating up. That was a float for a second. Giant maze. Where's the prison game? Let's just enjoy the view. And music's a bit loud. Music is pretty loud, actually. Yeah, I wish I could turn it down, but just mash your volume.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going.
Good game. I'm glad I played this one.
But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles. And you're so tired. But I know that you're strong. So turn back.
This game was really good. Story was really good. Ending wasn't the most satisfying thing, but I think that's fine for this game. I'm glad I played this. Yeah. Then so far, I noticed these two games have been really heavy on narration. I think that's like kind of driven the entire game so far. Music is pretty solid. Like it's just moving, but like actually brought a lot to the game. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I tried this. Unfortunately, uh, I after getting rated, I'm done. It's been 4 hours, or about 4 hours. Uh, yeah, I wasn't expecting to play Beginner's Guide. I am glad I installed it, like in advance. Uh, I thought the Stanley Parable was a bit longer. I thought there was an actual story and an ending to it, but maybe just this version doesn't have one, I guess, which is fine. So this is the Beginner's Guide. I'm not sure we're gonna be playing on Mondays from now on. I was expecting like well, I dropped Elden Ring. So like that was gonna be the longest game of the four that I chose. Finished Portal 1, Portal 2, dropped Elden Ring, and then Time People from Beginner's Guide. We finished these two, and I think we're just gonna continue on with the Trail series. Let's dedicate 2 days a week for that for a while. There's plenty of that, and then we'll go from there. We'll see. There's always new games coming out, so maybe we can go back to older games, which that I wanted to try out. Because there are a couple of really good games that I haven't played still, or I mean, like wanted to play that I haven't experienced. We'll see. But for now, that'll be it. I'll shout out my friends again. Matt was obviously one of them. If you came from there, I'm not sure what he's gonna do next. Probably another game in the Steam library. Arsai does art every now and then. Of course, freelances playing JRPGs. Currently going through, he's playing FF14 every now and then, and he's also finishing up, or she's playing through Dragon Quest 11. For me, I am going to be playing Trails from Zero starting Monday and Thursdays, and Heaven's Red on Fridays. Yeah, I'm just gonna share the Discord where we're all at. I realize I'm doing this all in an ad break too. Oh, I just did the whole spiel during an ad break, so may as well say it all again. Yeah, but check out my friends, check out the Discord. Me and my friends all stream on there together, or put notifications on there and chat together in that Discord. Matt is figuring out his Steam library. I'm not sure what he's playing next. Farsight does art. Of course, Francis doing JRPGs. Currently FF14 every now and then, and playing through Dragon Quest 11. He finished all the Final Fantasy games, and who knows who's playing in the future. For me, I'm doing Trails from Zero starting Monday and Friday. Monday and Saturday, we'll be doing that. On Fridays, we'll be playing Heaven's Red, and that'll be it. I am not sure I'm gonna be rating anyone because I don't feel like rating anyone. So that'll be it. All right, I'll see everyone. All right, bye.